And we are back. Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to show you how I make clothes. I'm pretty excited for this one, as I'm sure you guys are. Um, since the model's been weight painted, it's super simple just to copy, or in this case, duplicate certain parts and separate them. So for right now, we're going to hide the armature with H. And let me see here. We're gonna need the, where is it? We're gonna need the reference again. I don't know why I got rid of it. I should not have done that, but oh well, it is what it is. Just drag and drop, there we go. So we're gonna be making her base outfit first. So select the body, get in there, and make sure you have X-ray on. And for this one, we're gonna go ahead, click B. Oh wait, with the faces on. And for this, I'm just gonna select the arm, a bit of the arm there, and then turn that back off. Sorry if I sound a little sniffly, guys. Allergies, as usual. We're gonna go ahead and select these parts here. Don't need that one. So, and you can hold control. I'm using shift click, by the way, to select the vertices. Another thing you can do is after shift clicking a part, you can hold the control on your keyboard and it'll pick shortest path. And what that basically means is that it goes from one vertex to another if they're connected in a straight line. So you can remove the hair for a moment, shift click, control click. You can do this throughout whatever number you need, number of vertices you need. I don't know why those are there, so Alt, Shift, and just select the lines in between so we can get rid of those, because those are not needed. Okay, there we go. So from the looks of it, this is a bodysuit. Or at least I can make it, oh well, not a bodysuit, but see, Alt Shift and select aligns here. Make sure you click the line or the edge where, like right there, Alt Shift click. See? And it selects the straightest lines. If they're connected like this, then it should be clean. But sometimes you'll have to hit shift and then control, hold the control button to get to the shape you want. So like for example, shift click these, but as you can see it messes with the tail. It's not a big deal because those can always be deleted later. So I'll leave it just so I can show you guys what I mean. X-ray back on, hit B. Shift. I prefer to use the lasso select for stuff like this. Okay. Let me look at the shoes really quick. Okay. Alt Shift. Just to select the rest. Oop. It's not trying to do that. Okay, so that will do for that. Now for the hands. Just gonna go up here and X-ray B to select the hands. Okay. Okay, I got all those. Geez, my nose just doesn't want to stop, does it? Okay. We'll save the shoes for a different part, but as for this looks pretty good. So Shift D to duplicate. Right click mouse button to let go. P separates by selection. And you can name this part outfit. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just make the material outfit. But yeah, pretty simple operation here. And we're gonna add another for see-through fabric. Okay. But yeah, this is basically how I make all of my clothes when it comes to avatars. So we can go ahead and X, delete faces, then click on a face, L to select linked, X faces. And there we go, we got rid of that part. So here's how this is gonna work. Pardon me. Since this looks pretty skin tight, so much so that the parts of the mesh is actually glitching out, but that's fine. I know a way to fix that. So first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into the modifiers and apply the mirror. Go into edit mode on it and hit the letter I for inset and just give a small space like that. You just use your mouse. I know it looks wonky, but here's a little trick I know. Turn off proportional editing and then Alt S to select. But look, Alt scale. And there we go. This part's really useful when making outfits and stuff, because not only does it prevent me from needing to use the solidify modifier, it just makes it just works better. So now I can go back to mirror. The reason why I had to put it, or why I had to apply the modifier to begin with, is that I learned even with the clipping on, when I do the inset, it separates the middle and it looks tacky. So let's go ahead. But after I have what I need, I can just delete half of this, delete faces, go back into there and get the modifier again. And make sure you put it on top of this deck, because you are going to have to apply it first, so that way it doesn't mess with the armature settings. So now that we got that, we can get to work on coloring the outfit. So let's see. UV editing. Make sure you're right there. Viewpoint, my -Y. Hit A, U, project from view. This is normally how I start my stuff out when it comes to the clothes. And just move that, make new image. 2040 or 1024 by 1024 is perfectly fine. So We are gonna name this one outfit. You want to try to keep this names the same just so you don't get confused on which is which. And new image. Alt save. Let's see. Yep, we're in the references. Go into shading. All my stuff is here. Commissions. I typically don't use the principled, so we can just delete that. Move the color. Attach the surface. Shift A, search, diffuse. This way you don't have to worry about shading, but you can see everything as you're painting it. So let me show you guys here. So like for example, I just use the color picker because that's the easiest way to get the most accurate color you can get when it comes to references. Let's see. They're probably okay. There we go. So the process is the same no matter what outfit you make, as long as you copy the vertices to however you like. You can just focus on those. So let's go ahead. So this one's probably going to be a shorter video out of all of them. Another thing you can do to get a cleaner line is you can go into edit mode while you're still here. Lines. I typically just mark the seam where I feel the hand is halfway through. And face, select, and I could just shrink that and move it to here. Same goes for underneath. And bada bing bada boom, a clean line. Really useful. So like right here, we can go back into edit mode really quick. See the colors. So yeah, we can go into edit here. And like I said, just mark the seams where you feel like they'd be most appropriate. So like for this one, I'll mark the seam here. UV editing. And then pretty cool, huh? Let's see, it looks like she's wearing a, okay. So I think for this part, can get that open a bit more. There we go. The texture, because now we're going to make the little pattern that's on her bosom. Select the color, and you can change the radius. or the strength. I don't mess with the strength. I just leave it how it is at 1. But yeah, if you don't want to create the pattern completely from Blender, you can always use like Krita. I use that a lot when I make patterns, but I should be fine on this one. Yeah, there we go. And as for the belt part, you just go into edit mode and select this line for it, and then just paint that. Alt save, just so I have my image. All right. I think I can make that just a little bit straighter. Hold on. Drawing tablet would come in handy for this part as well. So if you have one, I highly recommend you use it. So we're going to go back into layout really quick because I do have to add that transparent material. So I'm just, actually, you know what? I got a better idea. I'm going to go down here and select these lines. Oop, shift, click. And I'm going to go ahead and mark the seam just so I can see it, and then Control B, and it creates that. And I can adjust it to my liking. Actually, before I do, I might as well add the see-through just so I can see it. There we go. Since this is going to be transparent material, I'll show you how to make that as well. Basically what I'm doing, I'm just shaping it. So there's really not a lot to say for this. Okay. Okay. So to make a transparent material, I'm just going to make sure I have all these lines. Selected. Make sure I got them. Okay, I did. So we're going to go ahead and make another image. You project from view. Since this one's really just one little slab here, we're going to go ahead and create, let me save this image and create a new one. And we're just going to call it see-through fabric. So for this one, I'd say we're gonna put it at, I'd say 50. It doesn't need to be a big image. Beautiful. Control save, and I'll save within the folder I have. Shading, see-through fabric. And here's how, just to show you what it looks like when it's in transparency mode, just gonna add transparent, Shift A, search, mix shader, and then emission. Color to emission, emission to shader, shader to surface, alpha to the fade, and then transparent to shader. Now check this out. This part's really cool. I can erase the alpha. And now this is where I can turn down the strength. And then mix. As you can see, it's barely visible. But yeah, it's different in Unity, but for Blender, that's what I do just to make sure I got the colors right. Or at least the transparency. I'm gonna round this out a bit, I think. Yeah. There we go. But yeah. Already we're almost done with the first outfit. How crazy is that, guys? Now this one's going to be just a little bit tricky. The floofs will come on in a while. But yeah, for these are high heels. As you can see, there aren't any arches. However, let's go ahead and save that and save that. Go back into layout. But this is why I wanted to do the shoes separately. But for right now, we're gonna apply the mirror again. And then we're gonna go down here to data, and we're gonna create shape keys. So one for the bases, and this one we're gonna call foot arch. Not every model has to have this. It depends on the shoes, or if you want the arch at all. But this is just how I do it when a character is wearing heels. So what this is gonna do, make sure you have foot arch selected and the shape keys, tab into edit mode. And since we applied the mirror, make sure you have X on, just so this side copies what this side's doing. But basically, we're going to create an arch. So we're going to use line. I'd say the arch is right about here. So there's that. And G, Y with proportional editing on. Okay. I know it looks funky now because of the toes and stuff, but you'll see what I'm gonna do. Cause see, there's a reason why I left just a little bit of space up here. But for now, there's the arch. So we're going to go into edit mode again. X-ray on. Because now take a look at the shoes here. Okay. So from the looks of it, we're going to go ahead and take that off, or not take it off, but go to bases, just so we're not copying the shape key. But faces select and Alt, select that line, Alt Shift click, and then there we go. Okay. Alt Shift, select these, and then we're going to go back here. Control click. Come on now. Okay. That should do it. So Shift D right button, mouse button, P, select, and we're going to call this shoes. So since these are going to be the shoes, the heels, we can actually first remove the bases and then the foot arch, and the arch is right there. So I can put the arch on so you guys can see it. But yeah. Alright, so now that you see what I got to work with, we're gonna go ahead and get the outfit on there. Time to shape it. I know it's gonna look weird. Can actually remove this. Well, no, we can't. Hold up. I know it looks weird as I do that, but as you saw with how I handled the outfit earlier, you'll understand what I'm doing. Okay. So for this one, we're gonna go ahead and get the mirror. And again, move it up and make sure none of these are on. Just gonna go ahead and mark the seam. This is what we're gonna do. G, Z, push it down far. I know it looks weird, but you'll see. I have all of these selected. Shoot. There we go. Actually, better yet, here's what we can do instead. Scale them out. Straighten. And then from here, we can actually fill. So like, for example, Control F. Oh, it's not. Oh, it doesn't work. Well, dang. Alright, so for now, we're just going to select the edges of these and just fill them in that way. Ba-dum-bum. Yeah, just make some little adjustments here. And bada bing, bada boom. So I'm going to go ahead and go here. Just straightening these out. There we go. Okay. And here's another cool thing. If you have faces selected, and right here, you can right click on the mouse and shade smooth, but there we go. Let's open the bodice. Okay. So now we're gonna enter edit mode, select all. I to inset just a bit. Turn that off. Alt S. And just, there we go. Doesn't have to be a whole lot. Just enough. Okay. She was not trying to do that. There we go. Okay, so now to add color. Let's see, what's the color scheme on these? So we're gonna go to outfit. Okay, so from what I'm seeing, this part is gray. Push that down there. I need to check something too, just to make sure it's all hunky-dory. Let me see. Need the armature to come out really quick. Pose. Okay, good. It still conforms to the bones. That's great. That's exactly what we needed. Okay. Ooh, good thing. Because I would have been upset if I had to redo all that. Alright. So we can continue with this bit. Okay. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and make this one thicker. Okay, and there we go. That's pretty much it for that outfit. So a few things I gotta fix up, like for example, this part is sticking out, so that's obviously the shirt. So an easy way to do that is just to Control R to create a seam and lower it just a bit. And then with that line still selected and the proportional is off, you can just Alt S and it grows. And then G, Z to pull it down. And now it looks like a shirt. And these sleeves, they look poofy. So what I'm going to do to do that is I'm just going to select the lines, Alt S, Control B to bevel it, give it more of a poof look, add a line here, Alt S, Control B. And there we go. So now for the poofs, while in object mode, I just hit Shift A, and instead of a mesh, I'm going to get a meta ball. There we go. It's the same thing as I did for the hair. You're just going to basically apply it to the gloves. Okay. And the bottom of the pants. So we're going to go ahead, get that stuff set up. And then edit mode, Shift D, Shift D, GZ, and then select all of those, Shift D to duplicate, and then rotate 180 and just bring the duplicates down. And there we go. Adjust them however you like. Maybe more together on the Y-axis. There we go. And then we're just gonna select A to select all, Shift D to duplicate, and then while facing this way, just hit R, and then on your keypad or numbers, whatever you have, rotate them 90 degrees. And then I'm just gonna scale these and just move them down. But yeah, adjust them however you like. Okay. And then we're going to convert to mesh. Now see, here's the cool part. You can mirror these, and we're going to mirror the outfit, and boom. So we're going to go ahead and get the armature back up. These are more connected to the knee and the excuse me, and the elbow. So we're going to go ahead and just shift click on the armature, armature deform, select armature, shift select the mesh, and weight paint. And we're going to select, make sure you have this selected so that both knees pop up. Since it's on mirror mode, it'll make it a lot easier to mirror the weight. So fall off is projected, so it goes all the way through the mesh rather than just on the front face. So just paint all that in there. Actually, I'm going to do something really quick. I'm going to select this, select all, and then G, Z, and I'm going to make it bigger. G, X, make it bigger along there. There we go. Because I'm actually going to make this on the wrist instead. And that. Okay. And then we're just going to add just a little bit of weight to the back here. Okay. And then subtract the weight by holding Control. Yeah, that looks kind of tacky, but let me work with me here. Yeah, we'll just keep it on the wrist then. So let's go ahead and get rid of the weight from there. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. Make sure the weight's on this side, which it is. Perfect. And now can click apply the mirror modifiers. Sure nothing's on there. Click apply. And then need the material, UV editing, you project from view, and these are white. So we go into here. Oh, that's right, I have to straight down. I'm silly. And save. Okay, so now we can hide the armature because we don't need that right now. Okay. And we're just gonna go ahead. Let me make sure. Let's see. I'm not gonna bother renaming it because it's all gonna be joined here. Control J. And I merged it all into the outfit. But yeah, that's basically how the coloring goes, guys. The same goes for this gal right here. We're gonna go ahead, pinky skin, and it just follows the same procedure as the clothes. But yeah, let me. This one is going to be Iris. The foof goes the bodice, pinky skin. Okay. Okay. We're going to go ahead and hide the outfit. Select all, you project from view, and we're just gonna move this up. New image, pinky skin. We're gonna make this one, I'd say 1,000 should be fine. Save, or alt save, shading. Shift diffuse, Shift A diffuse. There we go. Okay. But yeah, gonna go ahead and get the color. Let's see. And for here, we need the pads on her hands and feet. Those are going to be pink, so we're gonna get those. Also, I apologize for not talking so much. I'll be honest, kind of a rough night. Oops. Just keep in mind I'm using L to select the parts that I had created seams on. So that way it doesn't, you know, get through to the rest of the mesh. Seams are important, guys. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and downsize those, push them over here. And gotta get the pink. All right. Control save. We're actually going to remove hit link on the eyeballs, and we're going to remove those. Or not remove them, but separate them. Eyes. I'm going to remove, make a new material. Eyes. Okay. I need to see something real quick. I did the shoes wrong. Oops. Oh. Let's see. Outfit. I just need to change the color on here. That's all. Okay. Yeah, I think I might be catching a cold, guys. I apologize. All right. There we go. Now let me see. Oh yeah, that's right. I was working on the skin. Okay. So muzzle. We'll go with the pinky skin. UV editing. Let's see. You project from view, and we're going to move those down here. And for this, we need to remove or separate the nose, That's the inside of the mouth that can be pulled away. That's the tongue. Let me see here. And the teeth. Okay, all that is separated. Let's see. The tongue needs to be in a different spot. Here we go. There we go. I'm gonna go with texturing. Okay. We need the inside of the mouth. And then the tongue. And then the teeth. There we go. Jeez, my nose. Make sure the material is the same. Yeah. Okay. So you project from view. That's the hair. Okay. Let me get to the ear here. There we go. Okay. So as you can see, she's got a cute little heart on her cheek there. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go up 2 bases. I'm just gonna grab a few of these. I'd say I think these will be fine. And just move that one away and make it bigger. Make sure it's not overlapping the nose. Okay, it's not. Good. Texture paint. Get the color for the muzzle. Okay. And then the color for the heart, which is the same color as the nose. Put that down. And just make a little heart. Let's see how it looks. There we go. Beautiful. So for this, so you're gonna go to the top here so I can get that okay, let me go into faces here, select these, And since these are the same color as the head, we're just going to move those over to the very light pink. Okay. And as for the irises, I already have irises ready to go. You can make, I make mine in Krita. Well, let me go ahead. I'll show you guys a simple version. So we're going to create image, new. This one is called iris. And we'll make this one 100. Because again, you don't really need a big image for things like this. So project from view, scale it to size, all that good jazz. Shading, X. Texture paint. Try and get a layout. Okay. I'm just blending it in. Okay. And I'm gonna go into airbrush. And there we go. You can adjust the size of the irises if you so choose. Like, I'm gonna make them bigger. There we go. And maybe fix up this so proportional editing on. I'm just gonna lower this. Okay. And then just pull it out from the Y. There we go. Whew. And for this, we're going to go ahead, go back to UV editing with the hair, because I still got a outfit. Gonna go into the, what was the material again? It was pinky? Yeah, it was pinky. So we're just gonna go ahead and move that to the pink. Get that same color. Same as the shirt. Oh. Not the airbrush, but paint. There we go. Okay. But yeah, there you guys have it. I'm gonna make more clothes off screen, but that's pretty much how it goes. Well guys, for now that is it for this tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it and I hope this helps. If you like what I do and want to help support the channel, consider subscribing, hit that like button, and I do accept donations through Streamlabs. It's optional, nobody's obligated to pay, but it would help. So thank you, and I will see you all in the next video, in which she will be put through Unity. So stick around for that, and I will see you all then. Bye-bye.